Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is your boy, Kenneth.
And I'm Jasmine.
And we today are going to talk to you about some of the things that we have been doing, individual income for ourselves. And one of those vehicles has been through Turo. Okay? So Turo is a business kind of like Airbnb and kind of like Uber. They're just a middle person, right? So you own your vehicle and you basically put your vehicle on the platform and people will rent that vehicle from you. And so you essentially become almost like an enterprise or something like that. If you wanted to, build up your fleet like that, but I mean, you're renting you're making money on a vehicle that you most likely aren't using, right? And so that was our situation. So back in April, we bought Jasmine the van, and then once we purchased that, we were thinking about selling the Elantra. And so we decided to just go ahead and put it on the Turo platform so that we can learn how to do this, so that we can get other vehicles and things like that. And so we wanted to kind of share that experience with you all because we have had 22 trips so far. And
we are considered an all-star host. And pretty much an all-star pretty much an all-star host is you've done a certain amount of trips, you've gotten like 4.5 star rating and above, you've gotten good reviews, all the things, and so you become an all-star host. We became an all-star host probably after like 12 trips or something like that. It just like depends on when the next evaluation cycle comes around. On Turo, we have a 2014 Hyundai Elantra hatchback, and we have had it on there since
the end of July.
Yeah, the end of July. And like he said, it was just our old car, so we didn't need it anymore. We have 2 vehicles and we didn't need that one. And we were like, oh, Turo, like that can make us some passive income. And so it was really easy to set up the profile. I had to take like 10 pictures. You take 10 pictures. You show them like the mileage on there. You like write a little profile about your car, try to get people interested. You tell the availability, you tell like how many miles are included on it. You give details about what it includes, like it includes bye-bye. Cairo is once again with us also. It's like you would tell if it has remote start or Bluetooth and things like that. And so you really just set up a profile just like you would on Airbnb. And so for us, our car rents out between like $36 and $40 a day. So you can set it up for Turo to automatically like change the price of your vehicle depending on what's that called?
Like the demand.
Yeah, depending on the demand. Or you could manually set it if you just want to set your car for a certain price. So like we upped our price a little bit when we became all-star hosts because it's like, okay, we're doing a good job, we can up our price a little bit. And so you set the price, you set when it's available. You can do it based off your availability. I will say that if your car doesn't have remote check-in and check-out, then you really do need to have a job that is flexible. So I don't do much of the Turo, like checking in, checking out. He has to do it because his job is more flexible. I can't just leave and check somebody into the car. So what is that process like of getting a car ready? So somebody, they choose our car on Turo. Turo sends us a notification like, hey, your car is booked for this date, this time. And then what is the process from there, getting them checked out during the trip, check out?
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, so you're gonna do your basic wiping down everything in the car, because you do need to sanitize everything after each person has rented the vehicle. But normally the check-in process is going to be normally where you're going to
Are you okay?
You okay? The check-in process is normally going to be one of those things where you're just really going to meet this person. Normally, I'm going to recommend that you meet them in a public place. So we meet them at a gas station, and you can set what you want your drop-off points to be, and your pickup spots. And so normally we're going to meet them at a disclosed location, and then we are going to take pictures of the car, right? We're going to take pictures. A bunch of pictures of the car, because the claim when you're doing an insurance claim, you need to have proof that something has happened to your vehicle. And I mean, we haven't really had a lot of trouble with it, but we have learned that you do need proof, right? So you want to take as many pictures as you can of everything inside and out. And then after that, you make sure that the car is full of gas. Once you make sure that the car is full of gas, then I tell people to go ahead and take their own pictures. And so they will then take their own pictures so that they have proof, right? But then after that, it's kind of just letting them know, hey, all of these things, if you want to, I mean, they've been in a lot of vehicles, so I mean, there ain't really too much explaining, and things like that. Now, checking out is pretty much the same. You take pictures, you check to make sure that there's no new damage on it. If there is, then there's a button in there where you can kind of submit a claim. They'll tell you to take pictures of it, before and after pictures, and then you just upload those pictures up in there, and then it's pretty good. It's pretty easy. They do have insurance on there during the time that is rented out on Turo. So if you are a person who may not want to have insurance on that car because you're really not driving it, then Turo has you covered
during the Turo trip, so you can't go right around the car and be covered. And only your guest is covered. Yeah,
and some people recommend that you get insurance outside of that, and so I'll have to do a little bit more research on that.
Because you have to be careful, because of some insurance companies will not let you insure, because at that point your vehicle is used for like commercial use or something. Yeah, and that car is paid off. That's important to say. That car is paid off, so we don't owe anybody. That car is ours. So, and that's, I just to hit on that a little bit, that's part of the reason why we put it on Turo. Like, I would not put my van on Turo. I would be, and a lot of people do. This is just our personal, like, if we were to get another vehicle for Turo, of course, but we wouldn't, like, our personal vehicles that have payments, we're not currently going to put them on Turo. One thing that a lot of people said when we were looking into it is, like, don't be too personally attached to a car.
Yes.
Because if something happens, if it gets totaled out, that car is gone. So for this one, we do care about it. Like, we don't want damage to happen to it. We love having it on Turo, but if something was to happen to this car, we'd be like, okay, like, we just get the cash for whatever it was totaled out for. Because it's paid off. And so if you have a car that's paid off and you don't have like a really personal, emotional connection to it, that would be a good place to start. But you could also buy a car that has payments, because Turo would pay for the payment.
Yeah. So you have to do your own research and kind of see what best fits you. Because I think that there are people out there that are making thousands of dollars a month. And they have
multiple cars.
Multiple cars and things like that. So but what are some like the great things about having our car on Turo is that the only thing that we're really doing is, like I said, gassing it up, sanitizing and cleaning it, which we got a unlimited car wash thing. We bought one of those unlimited car wash things, and so we went to a car wash close to us, and I mean, you pick up and everything like that, but I mean, for the most part, it's pretty easy. It's not very time consuming, and we've been able to probably, I think I did it, and we were averaging, currently we're averaging about $500 to $600 a month, and so that goes towards whatever we wanted to go towards, right? And so on a vehicle that we weren't even using. So, but
we like putting it towards, you can have it pay out to whatever. So usually what it takes, like, so a triple in, and the next day they'll send you a message like, cha-ching, your earnings are on their way. How long does it take to actually hit the account? Like 3 days?
Yeah, I want to say it's like 3 days.
Yeah. So don't need the money like the same day.
2 days after the drop off.
Yeah. He wants to volume up a little bit. So don't need the money the same day, but we have it going to our savings account, and that's kind of like our travel money. Like, we went to San Francisco. If you want to see that vlog, I can put it up there. We went to San Francisco recently, and we were able to use the Turo money to create our budget with. So it's a great use of it's a great way of passive income. Like, currently we have a ride going on, and we have not had a ride. We've had 22 trips, and we have not had a trip where somebody needs to contact us during the trip.
Yeah.
It's literally like, we hear from them when they book. We hear from them at the beginning of the trip. They keep the car for however long. and then we hear them when it's time to check out. That's it. And we have two options. I don't know if you said this, but we have two options. They can pick it up at a location close to our home, or we can take the vehicle. We do delivery and pick up from the airport because we live close to the airport. You can charge more. So we charge, what, $35 extra if you need us to bring it to the airport. And there's like, you can really do a lot of add-ons. You can charge for prepaid fuel, like cleaning fee for it, airport delivery, drop off. If you have a very flexible schedule and you can deliver it to any place in the city, you can charge for that. So there's a lot of ways that you can charge, kind of upcharge in a way for your vehicle. And so it's been great passive income for us. Even if you're just somebody like you have a car but you work from home and you know you don't drive that car during the week for real, except maybe go get groceries. Put it on Turo. You can choose how long people can rent it out. You can let people rent it out for 12 hours or months. So maybe you just want to do one day. We've had people that rented a car for one day. I don't know what they needed for one day for, but they rented it literally for 24 hours. Maybe you just want to rent your car out for 24 hours, and you can do that. You can do that also. What's been like do you feel like there's any like pros and cons?
Oh yeah. Pros is like, you making money on a vehicle that you're not even using. Like, I think that's really cool. Like, that there's a platform out there, which again, like we talked about this, like, you know, our parents didn't have that option. And so like, it's kind of cool to know that that car's out there making us money and we're not even driving it, right? That's cool. I think one of the biggest drawbacks is, so I would not put something on Turo like that I really love, like my Kia. Like, I would not put that on there because there are times where we've gotten the car back and it's been like dirty, like, right, like not like super dirty, but like muddy footprints. I think somebody was smoking in the car at one point, but there was no proof. So I mean, it wasn't like, and it didn't stay in the car, so it could have just been on the clothes.
We got a rock hit like the side of it, so it's like a very small dent.
A lady said a rock hit the side of the car, and so it's like I mean, that's nice size rock if it hit the, I mean, but it's got that little scratches on the side, and so if somebody brought my Kia back out like that, I would be upset. You know what I mean? And so I don't, until I can detach myself from the car, then I won't put the Kia on there. I will go get I will go get other cars. Like I told Jasmine, I said, you know, we need to really start thinking about going to go get cash cars. You know what I mean? Because if this is, let's just say if we go get a cash car for, I don't know how much dollars, but if we go get a cash car and we put it on Turo because it qualifies to go on Turo, which you need to go on Turo and just kind of see what cars qualify as far as like mileage and stuff like that. I think it's like 130 miles. It can't be above 130 miles or something like that. And every once in a while you got to get it inspected and things like that, because they want to make sure that you are putting a safe car on the platform, which I understand. And so I would, so that's one of the biggest things. Like, these people don't, the people that we've rented to, and we can only speak on our experience, they're not like beating up the cars, right? But I would not want my personal vehicle to come back like that.
And we also, it's an older car, like it's not meant to be like a fancy or a luxury car. I think a lot of the horror stories I heard about things happening to cars were more luxury cars. Maybe because, and I don't want to generalize this, but maybe like younger people were driving it, or people just kind of wanted to show out. Nobody wants to show out in 2014 Hyundai Elantra hatchback. That is literally like, I'm trying to get from point A to point B and I need your vehicle. They're probably not speeding. Some people have like trackers on it, like location trackers. If we had a more luxurious car, we would do that.
Yeah.
So some people have these trackers. Really, Carol? Have these trackers so that they can tell like how fast the car is going, where the car is, when it's moving, when it's not moving. For this car, like I said, we're not attached to it. We don't have that. Do we want something terrible to happen to the car? No.
No, not at all.
But we also not gonna pay for a tracker on it and things like that. And so that's why we said just basic cash cards. I was surprised how well our car has been doing, because it is just a basic car, and there's a lot of luxury cars on Turo. But I think it does so well because people don't always want a luxury car. If they're coming in town to visit family, they just want to be able to put themselves and family in the car. If they just need to go to Mississippi real quick, they just need a car. And so probably the luxury cars do really well, but in a smaller city like Memphis, our little car does great. And like I said, we're only renting it out for $36 to $40, $36 to $40 a day. And so like we're averaging $500, $600 a month, and so it's obviously doing pretty well. So if we got another little simple Hyundai, that's doubling what we make a month.
Yeah.
And then the hardest part, maybe for some people, like I said, would be you need a flexible schedule unless you have a newer car that has the remote, and you can, Turo has like a way that you can do remote.
Oh, or you can do, when you talk about a flexible job, there are ways to check in somebody remotely.
That's what I just said.
Not just with the app though. Remember with the key box.
Oh, yes.
So you can, yeah. So you can always drop the car off at a safe location, put a key box on the window, which we bought a key box on the window, and then there's a bag that you can get that.
If we had the car, I'd take a picture, but we don't have.
But we will have to. We need to put that down in the down in the description.
I'll put like a little link to it.
Yeah, link to it, because you can buy like a little bag that actually blocks the signal from coming from the key. So like that car has keyless entry. It has keyless entry and push start. So let's just say if it's not in that bag, somebody can still push the button and unlock the door, right? And do whatever, probably hotwire the car or whatever, however they're gonna get into. But this allows it to block that signal so that the person, and you can always change the code. In order to get the box off the window, you have to like literally break the window. And that's why I say I like the drop off spot to be in a place very public, well seen, right? No real like side streets or anything like that. Like we drop our stuff off in a parking lot next to like a gas station, and we are able, like, it's businesses there, so if somebody's breaking into a window, they're gonna call the police. Now I wouldn't recommend leaving your car at a location overnight. And so that's the way that we do our remote check-ins. Now when we're doing our remote check-ins, you're uploading pictures into the pictures that you've taken up into the Turo platform. And so with that, you're putting all the pictures already in there. Normally what we do is that we tell, hey bud, stop.
You can dance,
you can dance. You don't have to kick the light. But normally what we will tell people is upload their ID before like an hour before they're about to come, so that we have a copy of the. Do not touch that. So that we have a copy of their ID in the Turo platform, and then that way we can verify who they are, and then we have them take a picture, a selfie of them and their ID next to their face, so we know that it's exactly who they're saying that it is. We have a clear picture of their ID. And it also has their ID information in the Turo app, as far as like their birthday and everything like that. So you're able to verify a lot of that information. Then you send them the code to the lockbox. You send them the code to the lockbox. They go ahead, they use that code, they get in, tell them to put the lockbox in the glove compartment, right? And then boom, they go ahead and take off. And you tell them that it's going to be the same way that they're going to check out, right? Obviously, they're not going to send, hey, bud. Come here. Come here for a second. Come here. Come here. In order for them to, can you grab him? In order for them to check out, they're not going to do all the pictures and all that different stuff, but they know how to put the lockbox on there and everything like that. Just tell them to double check, and then you get up there.
Yeah, we just like send them through you can message your customers through the Turo app, and so we just send them a message about how to do the instructions. Yeah, that has worked well for us. I forgot about that.
Yeah, and so that is for people who maybe your schedule isn't as flexible as mine, but you can put a lockbox on there. You can put a lockbox on there, and then boom, like they check in, check out. At the end of the day, when you get off of work, go up there, go get the vehicle. You know, maybe you made enough money on there to where you can just Uber up there and go grab the vehicle, drive back home. You know what I mean? There's plenty of ways to do this Turo thing. And I'm excited for people to be able to get on these type of platforms.
Man, we've been telling everybody about Turo. That's why I'm like, damn, we need to make a video about it, because we literally tell people about it all the time. Because who knew? I can just rent out my car that I'm not using. Like we could have just sold it and got a lump sum, but we'll be making more over time than just selling it, because we wouldn't have been able to sell that car for that much. We have not had any horror stories in 22 trips. We've had great customers. Sometimes just like giving the instructions to people can be a little bit difficult, but nothing terrible. Nobody suspicious. Like, we've had a really good experience with Turo, and so we would highly recommend it for a source of passive income for you and your family, or just you.
Yeah. So if you have any questions about Turo or anything like that, maybe there's a question that maybe we didn't answer in this video, drop that comment down below. We would love to answer that question. If you think that this video but just 1 second, okay? If you think that this video will help somebody, please send it to them. If it's helped you, please give us a thumbs up. And yeah, man, I think that's it.
So go out there and get that passive income, y'all.
Yep, thank you. Oh, and make sure, if you have not subscribed and you've been looking at our videos, we've been seeing y'all.
Because this vlog is day 13. At this point, you need to be subscribed.
You need to be subscribed. If you've seen one video, hit the subscribe button. It don't hurt.
Because we're going to keep giving you videos.
Yeah, we're just going to keep giving you content, so you might as well go ahead. And you know that this son helped you. So come on, let's go ahead and do that.
And all of our glory and our child making noise. But we're parents first. This is real life. People
life.
try to be making on social media, making videos and stuff like perfection. Look, this is how we look on a Sunday morning, and our son is here because we're parents.
Yep. So, thank you so much for walking with the Williams. We'll see you soon.